Even if okay, yeah.
I want to.
Okay. The Chicago Common Council meeting will now come to order on Wednesday, March 12th, 2025. We'll rise on the pledge of allegiance. Call please. First District Councilwoman Monica Gonzalez.
Here.
Third District Councilman Terrence Hill. Here. Fourth District Councilwoman Stacy Winfield.
Present.
Fifth District Councilman Robert Garcia. Present. Sixth District Councilwoman Gilda Oren.
Present.
Councilman at Large Dwayne Rasper. Present. Councilwoman at Large Vanessa Hernandez Oren.
Present.
Councilman at Large Kenneth Monroe.
Here.
Council President Lenny Francisci.
President, at this moment, can we rise for a second? I'm gonna have Councilman Coach Monroe. We're gonna have a moment of silence for Junior Bridgman. I'd like to have Coach Monroe say.
Everybody knows Junior's from city of East Chicago, our hometown. He did a lot of things into the NBA and his business, but just a word of silence for him. Give me a minute, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Agenda is the public hearing.
Clerk Padilla would now read the first ordinance, ordinance 25-0005, sponsor Mayor Anthony Pope. Additional appropriations ordinance, Chicago Sanitation Fund 2223 for various landscaping and maintenance contractual services.
We have someone to speak on this one.
Hello, Dale Robinson, Director of Public Works. We are here asking for $2 million for the 2025 landscape and maintenance contractual services.
Is there anyone from the public that is for or against ordinance 25-0005? If not, next ordinance, please.
Ordinance 25-0006, sponsor Mayor Anthony Pope. Additional appropriations ordinance for the general fund 1101, Department of Engineering for the Moon Avenue Street reconstruction.
Do we have someone to speak on this ordinance?
Good night. I'm Julio, the city engineer. Like, do you know, only come here when I need the money. And Mahoon is going to start next week. I want to start 2 weeks ago, but I can't come here because I have another things. The money was not ready. So now we need really the money because Mahoney Street is closed. Like you see, all machines is waiting for for the city order to start to work. I have in my budget almost $3 million, but I need $10 million more. So
Excuse
this-
me, can you just do a brief, this is for the, it's a public hearing, you can explain during your second reading on your ordinance.
Just tell us the amount you need.
Yeah, $10 million.
Thank you. Is there anyone from the public that is for or against ordinance 25-0006? The closed public hearing portion is now closed. Moving on to the regular meeting. We'll call you back up, engineer.
We want you to.
Yeah, we're gonna explain it to you.
Is there a motion to accept the public hearing and regular meeting minutes for Wednesday, February 26th,
So moved.
2025?
So moved.
Motion was made by Councilman Monroe, seconded by Councilman Garcia. Any questions on the motion? Need a roll call, please?
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Ransford,
Yes.
Hernandez, Orange,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Franceschi.
Yes. Do we have any communications from the mayor?
I have none.
Do we have any communications from department heads?
Accounts payable warrants. 021225 CC, 030625 CC, 031225 CC, and 031225 LA.
So moved.
Second. Motion was made by Councilman Monroe, seconded by Councilman Hill to accept the accounts payable warrants. Do you have any questions on the motion? Clerk Medina, roll call, please.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Garcia. Orange,
Yes.
Ransford,
Yes.
Hernandez, Orange.
I'd like to abstain for 022625 CC. And then yes to the rest. I'm sorry, 03.
Monroe,
Yes.
Franceschi,
Yes.
payroll warrant bi-weekly. Information. Can you repeat that number, that claim?
It's the 02.
It was 030625 CC, right?
25 CC. Yes.
Payroll warrant bi-weekly, 022825, and payroll warrant monthly, 022825.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilman Monroe to accept the payroll warrants. Do you have any questions on the motion? Clerk Medina, roll call, please.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes.
Hernandez, Orange.
Yes.
Oh, we said that.
That's it.
Which one?
Orange,
Yes.
Ratzinger,
Yes.
Hernandez, Orange,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Franceschi.
Yes. Do we have any committee reports? Do we have any board reports? Moving on, do we have any ordinances on first reading?
We have one ordinance on first reading, ordinance 25-0008, sponsored Mayor Anthony Copeland. Additional appropriations ordinance for the general fund 1101 for employees' compensation in the form of bonuses.
Motion was made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilman Hill, to hear ordinance 25-0008 on first reading. Any question? It was first reading. Yeah, you made the motion. Any questions on the motion? Councilman Garcia?
Yeah, Mr. President, I had, talked to Bell yesterday, referenced this. He didn't have no backup documentation on this. He said this was started from the, mayor's office at HR. He said he's gonna speak to HR to make sure they show up, so we can get a breakdown, but nobody showed up, so I figured we could pass it on first reading, and then they show up at the next meeting, we can go with the breakdown, we can go ahead and pass it. We just don't know what the breakdown's gonna be, if everybody's gonna get across the board the same or not, but, I expect them to get this.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Orin,
Yes.
Rexford. Yes. Hernandez, or
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes. Do you have any ordinances on second reading?
First and only ordinance on second reading, ordinance 25-0006, sponsor Mayor Anthony Copeland. Additional appropriations ordinance, for general fund 1101, Department of Engineering, for the Lagoon Avenue Street reconstruction.
So move on to second and third reading.
Excuse me. Ah, man, your first time in a meeting. Where's my second? Second and third. Motion was made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilman Hill, to ordinance 25-0006 on second and third reading. Do I have any questions on the motion? Roll call, please.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes.
Orin,
Yes.
Ransford.
Yes.
Hernandez, or
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes.
Please,
Please.
I want please, excuse for you, for everybody. I want that you send me, please, the addresses and some sidewalk that's broke in your district and some alleys, because I have some little money, not too much, for fees. So if I need more, I have a long time. For fix around the city. I give to you today what we're going to do this year. If you need something more, maybe I'll have some extra more money here, but I think this list is what you give me last year. I want one more time than this year. If you want to do something in this district, if you don't want, then go to vacation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'd like to say, thank you to Julio, because, he is man of his word. Of course, I gave him a list of what I needed in third, and he honored that list, and I thank you for that. I don't think I have any more, but I'll be on the lookout, and if I do, I will give it to you. Gracias.
Thank you very much.
Amen.
No problem.
No, good job. Good job.
See,
Like Santa Claus. We're giving them votes,
so loud, yeah.
Clerk, we need a roll call?
Yeah, that was fast.
Okay. Do we have any ordinances on third reading?
Yes, we do. We have one ordinance, a third reading. Is your mic working, Mr. President? I couldn't hear you, sorry. Ordinance 25-0005, sponsor Mayor Anthony Copeland. Additional appropriations ordinance, East Chicago Sanitation Fund 2223 for various landscaping and maintenance contractual services.
Motion was made by Councilman Hill, seconded by Councilwoman Gonzalez, Hear ordinance 25-0005 on third reading. Any questions on the motion? Clerk Medina, roll call, please.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Garcia. No. Orange,
Yes.
Francis,
Yes.
Hernandez, Orange,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Franciski,
Yes. Clerk Medina, do we have any resolutions?
we have one resolution. Resolution 25-0001, sponsored Councilman Garcia and Councilman Monroe. The resolution of the Common Council of the City of East Chicago concerning a petition for special use variance to allow for the recycling of gypsum on the property commonly known as 301 Riley Road.
So move, Mr. President.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilman Hill. Councilman Monroe, to hear resolution 25-0001. Any questions on the motion? Councilman Garcia?
Mr. President, we have the gentleman from U.S. Gypsum here. If you could come up and explain the project, on council on that.
Thank you. My name is Dave Sherman. I'm not from U.S. Gypsum. I'm from Beneficial Reuse Management, which is a company that I started 25 years ago. We're in the business of recycling large volume industrial byproducts. Mostly what we do is work with gypsum, waste gypsum. And this would be I believe, our fourth recycling plant where
Excuse me.
Sorry, sir, go ahead.
where we basically take waste wallboard and work it through a process of separating paper from the gypsum, the paper on each side of the gypsum that's on the inside. I don't know how much time I have to explain to you, but the process.
Two more minutes.
Two more minutes. The gypsum is a product that can be recycled infinite amount of time. And in this case, what we'll be doing is taking waste wallboard from the U.S. Gypsum plant and more than likely the GP plant, and running it through our process, separating the paper, which will send that into a compost site for recycling, and then taking the gypsum that we cleaned from the paper and selling it back to U.S. Gypsum. We also have pellet plants in Wisconsin that we take the gypsum in bulk form and turn it into pelletized gypsum, which then is used as a nutrient for fertilizer, in fertilizers. So it can be blended with other fertilizers. At some point in the future, we might be taking some gypsum from this process and putting it into one of those plants as well. But it will be both the paper and the gypsum will be totally recycled. So again, I'll open the floor for questions from anyone.
Do you have any questions? Councilwoman Orange?
Well, you said you're not from U.S. Gypsum, so where's your office at?
My office is in Chicago. Our corporate headquarters is in Chicago.
Think maybe we're wondering where you're gonna process this at? Side of the road, or you got somewhere, or what?
Oh, no, we're leasing a building from Klein Avenue Bridge Corporation that they have on their site there that they used in the formulation of the concrete forms for the bridge. That effort was, when was that done? Rich, years ago, I guess. The building has been vacant. It's a new building, but it's been vacant for, I believe, 3 or 4 years. We just are now leasing it. It's about a 26,000 square foot building with very high ceilings. And all the work will be done inside that building, which is actually the exact address is 219 Riley Road. It's just, I guess, what would be north of the U.S. Gypsum, right where Riley hits.
Building for the toll road and making the form.
Yes. all activities will be inside.
So are you hiring? And if you are you hiring Chicago residents?
I don't know that we haven't hired anyone yet.
Where your workers coming from?
I'm not sure yet. We'll be, we have a manager who will be looking for a couple more workers here probably in the next few weeks.
Councilman Hill?
Yes,
So you say everything will be done inside, correct? Nothing will be extending the building into the air?
that's correct.
Councilwoman Hernandez Orange?
So my understanding is that this is a long-term, this is not something that's like for a specific project, is it? This is you staying here with your company long-term?
Correct.
My next question is, the BZA has a concern that, when you're moved, so the BZA passed it, but it stated that when you move these products, you have to cover it, in the transport. So I guess we don't want that product or whatever that's being broken down in our community, this is my assumption. And I know in your presentation says nothing's hazardous.
Correct.
But I guess my concern would be, why would they want that to be covered, yet we're gonna put a plant in the city of East Chicago? So that's kind of contradictory. We would let it actually do the work. It could all go but up in the air, yet we can't transport it though. So it kind of,
Well, we understand that, a requirement could be that loads that come in need to be charged. That's pretty standard in any kind of recycling business. With regard to any air emissions, the equipment that we're talking about is basically what they call a trommel screen. And the trommel screen spins in a circle, and it's separate, that action separates the gypsum material from the paper material, and they go different ways. Now, is it the state of Indiana required? We've had them take a look at the process, and the permitting for the site itself is not required because it is a recycling activity. And we had them look at the equipment that we will be doing this work with, and they've indicated that there are no air permits that would be required. That was in the, I don't have it here, but that was in the presentation that my son did before the BZA was involved. I could give you that information on those two permits.
Can maybe answer the question as well. I was here for the first meeting. Their concern.
Your name, sir?
My name is Mark Hale. Their concern was it's that area of the city had a lot of dust and a lot of stuff. It was just to keep, there was any loose material in the truck, make sure if it was windy or anything, that no dust would go around. That was what their concern was for, was to keep the dust down. It's not, if there was any dust going to be created by it. It was not because it's a hazardous material, it was just, no, in case any dust.
Councilwoman Gonzalez?
I just have a question. So whatever's being transported is more of a solid, it's not producing any dust. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it's like if you remodel this road, we're not dealing with construction. We're only dealing with new wall. But if you would take the wallboard off this wall, it would come off in chunks, right? And it would break up. That's what we're talking about, bringing it in that hole. In the form of a piece of wallboard, depending on the size. It could be as big as 4 by 8, or it could be a small chunk of it. But it comes on the paper.
Councilman Garcia?
Yeah, I just got a statement. It's pretty standard that all trucks, should be covered. I wish they would abide by that. We have a lot of other trucks that ain't covered, and they drop a lot of stuff on the streets. You go on clients, sometimes you can't get behind one of these trucks, it's not covered. But it's pretty standard that all these trucks should be covered.
Councilwoman Hernandez Orange.
So I guess my concern is when someone goes into a house to do destruction of the drywall, which I've seen, they're always wearing the mask and sometimes it's because of the dust, they don't want to inhale anything. And I guess those are my concerns. And when you live in this city, when you wake up, you clean your car at night, and when you wake up in the morning, all there is dust. So as I'm gonna live here for the rest of my life, I don't want to continue to have more, businesses that bring in more dust to my community. We denied previously another company that said that they would have air or particles in the air, and I think those are more hazardous. But for me, I don't want anything extra if it's gonna be hazardous to the community. So that's my concern, and I'm glad that you stated that there was no requirements in regards to because it's a recycled material.
Correct.
But I want you to understand, as you're moving forward, the more you contain those particles, as a resident of the city of East Chicago, I would hope that would be done.
Understood.
Any other questions? Councilwoman Orange.
Would you take this drywall from around the country
No, we're taking drywall from the
for US gypsum?
US gypsum.
Oh, US gypsum.
Now, we will be establishing a program for contractors to bring their product, similar product, to our site. But that will be somewhere down the road.
Will you come back and let us know when that happens?
Sure.
Councilman Garcia.
Yeah, I think what you just said is perfect. I think our street department would love that too, because we have a lot of people in here that just put it in having or put it in a garbage can. So if there's a program like that, I think that'd be beneficiary to the city.
Well, not only from just a regular gypsum point of view, a recycling point of view. Gypsum should not go in the landfill, because what happens is the sulfur in the gypsum, and that's the reason why it's a fertilizer, because it has sulfur in it as well. But the sulfur in gypsum does not go well with the leachate in the landfill. And so landfills do not want gypsum to be admitted there. So that's just another reason why there should be a proper recycling program for this problem.
Mr. Marshall, I think you had something to say.
I think in what Ms. Orange was, Hernandez Orange was saying, the Board of Zoning Appeals appended that the trucks, despite what I might say, that the trucks would be covered in carrying the product that they're producing to US Gypsum or wherever. If you look at the resolution, that's part of it. That condition, we welcome the job. We look forward to your being here and presenting jobs as well as other opportunities, and using an industrial space that is very appropriate. But it was my understanding that the trucks were to be covered as they carried the final product to US Gypsum or wherever.
Understand. Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Francis. Yes. Hernandez Orange,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Francisci.
Yes. Thank you. Moving on, do we have any old business?
Yes. All right,
Councilman Hill? Okay.
maybe this is a little bit old and new. I'd like to congratulate our attorney, Angela, for doing a great job. It's another thing she's doing, a wonderful job that you do for this council. I think you have showed that you are capable in working with us and taking care of the business the way it's supposed to be. You always asking questions that we ask of you. You don't have the answer, we go get the answer. So I appreciate your expertise in working with us, and that's all I got to say about that. And another, if you all have, any of you all wrote down 151st, the Harvest Food Group is moving right along. The walls are being put up in the establishment. And I thank my colleagues, like I did before, for working with me with this project. It's not my project, it's our project. We all gonna be. So I thank you. And also I'm waiting on the other project where the old West Calumet was at. They're still working on that and it looks good over there. And the houses are still being built. Thank you, Julio, for working with me in my district in the sidewalk, streets, and anything that I asked of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other old business? Moving on to new business.
I'm sorry, I didn't have.
Councilwoman Orange.
Okay, so last week I had asked the attorney to write a letter asking, the governor to reconsider his stance on special education and autism services. He did write the letter, but he didn't put all of our names on there, so he didn't put my
Okay.
name on there.
All right,
So,
I'll take it. And I'll make whatever adjustments need to be made.
okay, just our names if,
Yeah.
they want to sign, or it really, you don't have to really be signed.
Just send it as.
Send it as,
Yeah. Do you have the electronic version of that?
I know.
Okay, I'll just take that one if that's all right.
And we'll give some stats to add to that.
Okay.
Thank you. So, and then one other thing, I would like to amend, resolution 240017. Evergreen only has 2 blocks. And I didn't think about that when we, were doing the, street name for Clarence Walker. And so I looked down that block, there was no other official or, person living in that block that could possibly be named.
Can you say that again, the resolution number?
240017.
We gotta bring it back on the agenda.
Well, I'll do an amendment and then you can pass it next meeting unless you want to just do a verbal amendment.
Okay, I'll just read the verbal.
Okay.
Okay, so, to include the 3800 block of everything and the 3900 block of everything,
So 38, 3900.
block of everything.
And so you can call for a motion on that if you
So
want to do that.
I can have a motion for it.
There's a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Orange to amend
Second.
resolution 24-0017.
Second.
I believe Councilman Hill seconded.
Yes.
Any questions on that? Roll call, please.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Ratzifer,
Yes.
Hernandez, Orange,
Yes,
Monroe,
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
And I just have one quick, we have, first of all, thank you for your shout out. We have that codified, ordinances book that's been sitting for a while. And it was tabled, and I want to make sure that it comes up at some point here in the near future. I know that the clerk's office put a lot of time and effort into it. So it was tabled pending further investigation into whichever, issues were pending, but it's been quite some time, so I'm just reminding the council that that's still outstanding. And we can't actually publish it until it gets approved by the council, so we need to either move forward with that or vote to not do anything with it. I hope that's not the case, because quite a bit of time went in, and we do probably, it benefits the citizens to be able to go online and find out what our codes are. It's many cities and towns actually do this, and it's much easier for citizens to go online and say, what does this code relate to me, or does it not relate to me? So it's very helpful for the citizens. I hope we do something with it, but it does need to be brought back up.
Okay. I'll check with our committee. Who's
Okay.
I could answer her now.
Councilwoman?
So if you want to reach out to Mr. Harris, it's actually in the attorney's hands.
Joel?
Joel Harris, yes. So they are the ones who the city deemed to, fix it so that the council didn't have to pay for the recodification, because it was done out of a different fund. So that's where it's at the moment. You want to reach out to him? If not, then I will reach out.
I'll do it.
Thank you. Any other new business? Still, you still have the floor, Councilman.
I know it's not March the 8th. That was, the International Women's Day. But I want to give a shout out to the women that sit here, during this council meeting. And that they do a fantastic job, whether we agree or disagree. One thing I know about the women on this council, I'm not talking about the men because it wasn't a day. But, they love the city and they love their constituents, because they can move anywhere, but they stay here to fight. And, I think they do a good job. They put their heart and soul in it. It's not easy when people come out here in the streets and everything else, but they still come here and forge ahead to make the city better. And so I want to congratulate these women. And all the
Any other new business? Councilman Garcia.
Mr. President, I had, Mr. Muskin, they used to work for Ameristar, probably last week. He's trying to help Gary, get the convention center, with the vote there with Hard Rock. We would like to see if this council would like to do a letter of support. I know they're fighting to get that, convention center. It's a perfect spot right there on the highway. I think they have something.
Yeah, and Councilman Garcia, I do meet with, Hard Rock, some of the officials and, Muskin Friday at noon. As soon as I get done with that, I will be, reaching out to each of my colleagues and letting them know what's going on and how we can, move forward with this.
What capacity does he have?
Excuse me?
What capacity does he have, Mr. Mustin, in the process? I don't think he has any. I think he just worked with management and he reached out to him. Was he like a consultant?
Yes, he's a
Yeah.
consultant. I'm sorry. I didn't-
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Omar's trying to get it out of their hands, but Gary's in the perfect, spot to get it right there off the highway, and it benefits us all, you know, if we go ahead and, we all support it.
Any other new business, Councilwoman, Winfield?
I have, I have two. Once we find out when the services for Ulysses Bridgman, funeral is, I would like to see if he could send a resolution or condolence to the family. We can get that to you as soon as we find out, because I know Councilwoman, Orange did a street naming after him years ago. So it would be nice if we could send them from the council members. And also,
You can do a letter, rather than a resolution, you can direct the clerk to draft a letter on behalf of the council and condolences, so that you don't actually have to formally pass a resolution.
well, listen, I wasn't talking about passing a
Oh, okay.
resolution, but I can
Yeah,
condolence.
yep.
Yes. Also, just like to congratulate the Chicago Central basketball team. They're on their way to Michigan City Saturday. Wishing them all luck. They asked if anyone is attending to wear your red. They bleed red, red, red.
Councilman Monroe?
He just spoke for me. I've been raising my hand for the longest. But the time of the game is at 1 o'clock. We play Hanover Central. We have shirts at the athletic department for $20 and $10 for the game. And she took my life.
Councilman Garcia?
Councilman Monroe, is only one game Saturday?
One game.
If they win Saturday,
They go, we'll find out if it's South Bend or Fort Wayne we go down.
Somebody's
And that'll be 2 games.
Mr. Monroe, I know you work well with the athletic director. Do you think that, since we're council members,
No, absolutely not.
You don't even know what I'm gonna say.
I don't. No, absolutely not. Don't even ask that. I'm responsible for.
I'm gonna take it, I donate something.
No, yeah, all right.
Thank you, trustee.
I asked him myself. he like it.
Moving on to public expression. Would you please keep your comments to 3 minutes? I believe we do have one. Mr. Magana?
being one, happy belated Women's International Day to everyone in Chambers Day. I won't be long, I know work-life balance. I got the attending will be points to everybody. I just have one quick question, maybe the council can answer this. I saw a flyer on social media where there's going to be starting an AAU group here in Chicago, right? Tryouts were Saturday at Heritage Hall. And so one of the sponsors is Parks and Recreation. Now, is that just a moral support or is that financially going to be?
So Madonna, they can answer your question
Oh, yeah.
after. Yeah, this is just for public comment, so you can make your comments and they'll be more than happy to talk to you after.
Okay, so, point being is, it's just the moral support, fantastic, because I know other AAU groups around the country, they travel and overnight lodging, meals, gas, and, you know, they all travel in a van, you know, they go out of state. So if that's the case, how is it that our tax dollars are funneled there, but yet our water is contaminated with lead? We don't have adequate lighting on our streets. There's a guardrail that's dilapidated from a police car chase back in November. So checks and balances is what I wrote on that document to present that to you guys tonight. Then there's the aspect of morality and ethics. It's a little bit interesting that coach from Central High School basketball team, Ala Moreau, please, I apologize if I mispronounce his name. He's going to be the director of this program. However, he's currently under indictment according to mygov.indiana.com.
Okay, I'm sorry, I don't think that's.
No, we ain't taking that.
No, okay,
No,
but,
Okay.
however,
Yeah, we're not going there.
However, if you have something else,
yes, I do. So that's my point that I'd like to bring forward tonight. Thank you. Everyone have a nice evening.
have a motion to adjourn.
I can answer your question. if you'd like.
No, let him go.
Motion to adjourn. Councilman Garcia, second by Councilman Orange. Roll call, please.
Gonzalez. Hill.
Yes.
Winfield.
Yes.
Garcia. Orange. Christopher. Yes. Hernandez Orange.
Yes.
Monroe. Monroe.
Yes.
Francisco. Yes. Good night.
Angela, I love to let it snow.
Thank you.
I know you're